Have you ever stopped to think how many times you woke up, went to work, paid bills, and felt like you're stuck in an endless loop? It's like money comes in and disappears before you even realize it. And at the end of the month, that same feeling hits again, that you're working harder than ever, but barely moving forward. Now, take a breath and think with me. What if I told you there's one single decision that could change all of that? One choice that, if you make it today, could completely transform your financial future. It's not a magic promise. It's not motivational fluff. It's a mindset shift, the one that separates people who build wealth from those who spend their entire lives chasing their own tail. And here's the scary truth. Most people go their whole lives without ever making this decision. The truth is harsh, but freeing. No one changes their life just by earning more money. Yes, you heard that right. What really transforms your life isn't how much you make, but what you do with what you make. Because if you can't manage the small amount wisely, you'll lose control when you have more too. That's exactly what happens to most people. They live reactively. They work, get paid, pay bills, spend, and then hope there's something left to invest. But there never is. Never. And that's why the years go by. The bills keep growing, the exhaustion piles up, and the dream of financial freedom feels further and further away. But the ones who truly break free financially think completely differently. They make one simple decision that changes everything about how they handle money. And that's the decision you need to make today. The decision to invest before you spend. Sounds too simple to be true, right? But that's exactly why most people overlook it. While the average person asks, how much is left to invest? Wealth builders ask, how much am I investing first? And I'll live with what's left. That small shift changes everything, because it puts you in control. When you invest before spending, you're telling your brain, I have a plan, I'm in charge. The money no longer controls you. You control it. And that single consistent decision is what will set you free from financial slavery. Let's make this practical. Imagine someone earns $2,000 a month. If that person decides to invest just 10%, $200 every month in something that earns around 1% monthly interest, in 10 years, they'll have over $9,000 or more, depending on compounding. Now think of someone earning the exact same salary, but who spends everything, waiting for the right time to start investing. In 10 years, that person will have the same amount they do now. Zero. And here's what's truly fascinating. People who invest first don't just gain money. They gain discipline, clarity, and control. Because every time you make that choice, you strengthen your consistency muscle. You start to see money differently, not as something that comes and goes, but as a seed. And seeds grow. But here's a secret most people never talk about. This decision isn't about money. It's about identity. When you decide to invest first, you're saying to yourself, I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm building my freedom. That mindset shift changes how you see work, spending, and your entire future. Now, maybe you're thinking, but I don't make enough to invest. That's the most common and most dangerous excuse. Because the issue isn't how much you earn, it's the habit you build. The person who learns to invest $50 when they make little will invest $500 when they make more. But the person who invests nothing with little will still invest nothing with a higher income. The question is, are you willing to start small to grow big? Financial freedom doesn't come from luck. It comes from choosing your future over your momentary comfort. While some buy instant pleasure, others buy time. And time is the most valuable thing on earth. Because when money starts working for you, you finally earn the right to live, not just survive. Now think about this. How many financial decisions have set you back? Maybe you financed something you didn't need, bought something to feel better, or kept your money sitting idle out of fear. Those small decisions, repeated over years, are exactly what shaped your current reality. But the good news is, you can change that starting today. The decision that changes your future doesn't require wealth, luck, or connections. It requires awareness and courage. Courage to face your reality and say, I refuse to live on autopilot. Courage to take the first step, even if it feels small. And awareness to understand that consistency matters more than the amount. Because transformation comes from the habit, not the number. Now, let me tell you something that most people never realize. Those who invest before spending develop what I call the builder's mindset. It completely changes how you think. For example, instead of spending $30 on takeout, you start to think, what if these $30 became part of my freedom fund? Instead of buying things that lose value, you start focusing on buying assets that create value. That's not being stingy, that's being strategic. Because the money you invest today is the same money that will give you peace, security, and freedom tomorrow. And here's the most beautiful part of this journey. In the beginning, progress feels slow. But suddenly you look back and realize how far you've come. You start seeing your money grow, opportunities appear, and you understand that this one small decision, to invest before spending, was your turning point. Now, one last warning. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start, because it never comes. There will always be an extra bill, an emergency, an excuse. But guess what? The people who prosper are the ones who start before they're ready. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers, and it's what will separate you too. So today, I want you to pause for a second and ask yourself, what do I want my financial future to say about me? If you want to look back and see that you built something solid, then the choice is simple. Start investing before you spend. It doesn't matter if it's small, just start. Because today's action is what will write tomorrow's story. Remember this, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you decide to keep and multiply. And let me leave you with one powerful question. Will you keep waiting for money to be left over before you invest? Or will you start investing so money is left over? The choice is yours. But the result will define the next years of your life. If this video made you think, hit that like button right now. It helps YouTube show this to more people who need to hear it. And drop a comment below. I decide to change my future. If you want to learn how to break your financial limits and build real freedom step by step, subscribe to Break Your Limits. Because here, you'll learn to think like the ones who win. And the first step to that is making the one financial decision that will change your future forever.